Hester Pierce, a commissioner for the ANCS, has said that the process for finding the Bitcoin ETF ETH Synakia was botched. A lot is happening at the agency, as Pice explained. For this reason, XRP holders who are optimistic about the XRP ETF's approval prospects are the ones who are patiently waiting for further crypto choices, those who will reap the rewards of this. I couldn't agree with you more that the SEC lacked rules for digital assets when it was younger. Nevertheless, it must be emphasized that this matter requires proper handling. Achieving that designation is a major victory for our team. When looking at exchange-traded fund applications, XRP clearly falls within the take charge. Still, XRP holders, you're very welcome to swing back by the crypto channel whenever you like. I truly appreciate you all listening in every single day. So, why wait? Just subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to click that red subscribe button. It appears that the market is outstandingly well across the board. That was obviously covered in my most recent article, which came out only a few hours ago. Taking everything into consideration, the price of XRP is still $2.31. With a daily growth of 1.6%, Bitcoin's market worth is now $135 billion, 0 cents. And there is an increase of the deals that are worth $5 billion. Please understand that nothing you see on this channel should be used as a substitute for professional financial advice. Like any other investment, you should do your own research on cryptocurrencies before putting any money into it. I implore you to remember that. Now, this is the most important thing to remember because we will review it again and I will show you how big of a deal it is. Ripple has been formally asked by the SEC to pay them $50 million, 0 cents, to resolve their dispute on XRP, in case you missed it. Compared to the others, these things are massive, rather sizable. This one, in my opinion, is the biggest of the bunch. This one is just as great, of course. Having said that, I'd like to address the foremost one before we do that. Remember who you are. Reducing limitations on vital goods is one of the many benefits of the new trade agreement Donald Trump announced with the UK. One example is that car tariffs will be lowered to 10% and steel and aluminum levies will be removed. Just that alone is encouraging news. Conversely, this is where you'll find the most important one. Perhaps you already know that Missouri will be the pioneer state to completely eliminate taxes on real estate, equities, and cryptocurrency gains. The fact that, sirs, here we are, beginning to transpire since the Trump administration took over the country in January, we have been discussing the possibility of this happening. Reliable sources had told us that it could happen, and it did. I think this is a really important thing to note. You won't believe the significance of this news. I predict that other states will do the same. If you're into investing in stocks and coins, you might find this interesting. The safeguard may already be in place, but I was under the assumption that it was already there. Keep in mind, nevertheless, that this just modifies the regulations that apply to stock market employees. Just a few hours earlier, Donald Trump said that the current climate is right now is a great time to buy stocks. A rocket is going to be visible to you shortly. For Missouri residents, the regulations have only been changed thus far. On top of that, I would really appreciate it if you could tell me what you think about this in the space provided below. An asset exchange that cost between $1 million, 0 cents, and $2,500 billion, 0 cents, would, according to CoinDesk's Ripple Hidden Road report, get a foothold in the Abu Dhabi market. Large purchasers in the UAE will be served by the company's clearing and prime brokerage services, which is well known. We all know that the UAE isn't talking about a little sum of money when we bring it up. The country has been leading the pack in digital asset development even more so than the US. because of the enormous sums of money at stake, maybe in the US or elsewhere. Reality check. Digital assets are really only now getting some significant attention in the US. This is the rationale behind the situation earlier. It hadn't been nearly as interesting. Obviously, you'd have to think about that, and you would. It's important to consider Ripple's construction in this area as well. While dominion over North America is certainly a target, their ambitions extend far beyond that continent. Remember that XRP Eliga is a one-stop shop that offers everything that institutions desire in terms of crypto, and they want it used in every country on the earth. In order to become a member and start Ru1, more perk is that big institutions can easily set up shop there, since there's just one place they have to go to accomplish this. At this precise second, we arrive at the subject of XRP. Some pricing predictions are so far-fetched that you could see stars if you tried to cope with them. A loading of the XRP supercycle, $15. Again, there are some who would see through this as completely ridiculous, but you can never say never if an executive fund is allowed. Do you have any thoughts on this? It's important that you know how the Treasury Department works with bank inspectors. Mr. Mann claims that the president has been recently given a report by the government, just like you expected, Scott. You may find the content in the retweet that talks about relisted as an asset. Here are some things to keep in mind when you use Resig's XRP system. On the flip side, every transaction requires a specific quantity of XRP, the native token, and XRP is burned during the process. A big change would occur if the Treasury implemented RLUS. An uptick in trust lines and accounts, along with more interest in buying XRP to settle the balance, is likely to occur. To rephrase, you'll have to buy the local coin, XRP, for this to happen. The local token, XRP, would inevitably rise in value if demand were to skyrocket, rise in cost. This would lead to more people using XRP as a bridge to fiat currency. Furthermore, this proves that XRPL is being used and trusted by institutions, which bodes well for XRP's image in the market. Many people are still perplexed as to why an official letter about the settlement with the SEC was